Hello everybody, welcome to another ANS production, and today is another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath cast. Today's battle, our journey has been brought to you by me, and today our competitors are going to be Akasut,
Construction complete.
let's call them Akka,
New construction
and
options.
Weapon.
Building.
That's a rather weird name. I don't care about this space. Right, sorry about that. Yeah, so they were both GDI, as far as I can see. We'll see what sub-faction they are both. Well, they both are. So we see they could either be a GDI or a Zocom for Akka over here. And again, the same weapon. They're both doing pretty much the same thing. It's just going out, scouting units, taking some tip spikes. Probably going to be both going down here. I know Akka is. Let's make it a swift beeline for that. Though, see that weapon has unleashed a couple of rifleman squads just to go and scout that enemy base. You can see our economy just starting to come up for weapon over there. A nice scouting party coming over the middle blue tip field here. Akka is not really doing much at the moment. He's just making sure that everything's going to plan, just making sure the scouting units don't get killed. And we see one of the scouting units have now arrived at the enemy base from weapon, and a conflict is now going off here. And that is from Akka's Rifleman squad. At least Akka now knows that weapon has been, thinking the same thing. And weapon knows that Akka's at least taking one of the tip spikes. Yeah, he's about to, so yeah, that will be true in a few seconds. Quite a big unit over here, so they just garrison that building. That's going to be quite a problem for any units that are going to trespass right in front of this tip spike in a vicinity anyway, so he could easily take that. But luckily with some grenadiers that shouldn't be too much of a problem, although I don't know how long it will be before he gets some. First APC goes out by Akka, probably do some anti-infantry, just like the usual. There's not really much to it. And we see that now weapon is going to go down to this type of field, and I'm going to make a better and bigger expansion, more economy and everything. Good stuff. He's probably treating some pitfalls. No, that's way too slow. I don't know, maybe some harvesters or something. I wonder, will they actually be maybe just sell these refinements or not? I don't know. Oh, they both done that. So they both started attacking each other's tip spikes with the garrison structures. To be honest, I would have thought they would have garrisoned their own structure, just because it's safer to do that and to kill any other scouts than to let them go into the structure and make them, way more dangerous than usual, just because they can spy on you and everything. So over here now we still see one tip spike that has been captured down the bottom of the map. Then we've got protection at this side. No effort's been made by Akka to make or at least capture another tip spike, which will bring him more resources. And the units by weapon, no, these weapons is firing away nicely. We've got a few pillboxes there, and then we see that expansion has now been made by Akka, so they're both down to the second typing field. So what is he going to do? What he's doing with all his missile squads? I think that's going to be interesting. Is he going to go for the structure or not? No, he shouldn't do, because that's anti-infantry. Not sure myself, but we'll see in a minute what happens with that. Weapon is still making some economy and everything. And you see the first few peoples go out, so we're going to expect a harvest harassment, or at least an economy attack on Akka by weapon. So, but Akka's done the exact same thing, so they're pretty much mirroring each other for the entire match, to be honest. Not surprising, but it is a little bit, because it's almost exact. It is almost exact for both players. I'm even gonna quietly assume that they could be, or at least entice the possibility that they are the same faction. And here we go, they're parked right outside the base, they're hammering on that harvester. You see we've got a predator tank as well out to support the pit bulls. The pit bulls go out, they now see defend even for the APC as well. Weapons pit bulls now have to pull back because of the amount of units that are there. And what was that? Oh, I thought that was an engineer then. We see that tier 2 has now been achieved for Akka, so he's probably going to go straight to tier 3. Going to get that Marv out, maybe. Definitely going to get some air units as well. Probably going to do some like Orcas or Hammerheads. Oh, what's the capture? Oh, yep, finally, Akasut's capturing the bits. So he's going to get more resources from that. Weapon, just trying to structure a little bit because he knows it's there. More pit bulls being created by weapon. Akka is not really focused on pit bulls at the moment. He's just focused on predator tanks. Anything that can do anti-vehicular damage and a nice amount. Strange region. For a strange region, he's got a rig out, so he may be focusing on repairing vehicles. So he's going to go for a vehicle attack, an all-vehicle attack or something. Because he's going to keep that rig safe. There's not much he can do. I mean, he can only defend itself while being deployed. So, alright, so it's a mobile base defense. That's what he's doing, just to make sure that his base is a little bit more defenders, because most of his units will be away. Alright, okay, I see. That's interesting. I've not seen anybody do that before. But it makes sense. And we see a little bit of, quite a lot of pit bulls coming down here, going towards the second Tiberium field, or at least the one directly below Akka's base. And we see that quite a few harvesters are being placed over there, but Akka has prepared some counter-attack ready for when the pit bulls arrive. And here we go, they're just about to arrive, and they immediately backtrack just because, oh my god, they can see all the missile squads, and that's quite a few actually. There's a decent amount there. We do want to make sure they don't go on the Tiberium as well, because they're just treading through it. At least it's only for a little bit, but there we go. Nice defense by Akka to defend his economy. Now the predator tanks are going to get some action here, and a one pit bull defending that harvester. Well, the harvester's conveniently passing by them, and quite a few of the pit bulls have been destroyed. Is he going to pull back any of them? I don't think he is. Oh, that was close. He almost destroyed one pred. That was close, I must admit. We've got a couple of rigs over here as well, so that could mean that he's wanting to repair his units, although that'll be a really obvious weak spot. Weapon currently is massing a huge force. We see a lot of APCs and predator tanks being sent to Akka at the moment. He's also got tier 2, quite a lot of these units, so he's just wanting to take care of the predator tanks that Akka owns. And we see that the pit bulls that Weapon has used to scout Akka has come back, withdrawn from the battle or from his base. And tier 3 has now been achieved by Akka, and a couple of rigs staying there as well. His money is actually being maintained quite nicely. We see the conflict over here. We see that multiple pit boxes have been deployed, but it has proven useless, seeing as we've got the anti-bunker of the Protestants and the anti-infantry from the APC, but they've got a nice counter-attack made by Akka there. Nice orbital airstrike going down, and I think shockwave artillery? It must be why these two tanks are powered down, but it did do quite a bit of damage, but not enough to, you know, make him retreat or anything. And as we can see, more units are actually being trained on the spot there. We see also we've got some air support there, so probably going to be training some more orcas or some hamheads, maybe even firehawks, because they all do round quite nicely as you east. Akka's tanks are out retreating because of the giant horde that is now being approaching him. Unfortunately, he can't use those missile squads because of those APCs. That's going to cause him quite a lot of problems. But if he can somehow target the APCs, because quite a few of them are damaged right now, so he may have the slight advantage. We see, sonic emitter goes up, so he's actually GDI right there. Akka is GDI because there's been no shatterers. Well, then again, even if it's GDI, he'll have some shatterers. We'll have a look. Right, so he is GDI, yeah, so I did call him right. And Weapon is GDI as well, so we've got two of the same faction. That's quite interesting. You'll see we've got a nice defense, attacking line moving up quite slowly. We've got the railgun upgrade been acquired by Akka, so he's going to have that extra damage output, which will definitely help against all these tanks. But, oh god, right, so they've both got tier 3 now. Mammoth tanks rolling out. They can also have the railgun upgrade, which will be quite devastating to all of those little tanks that Akka possesses, almost rendering them useless. But if he can possibly do a pincer attack, that may win him the battle. We see quite a few of these firehawks going straight in and taking out important structures. Oh, almost killed those firehawks with that supersonic airstrike there. That was really lucky. One firehawk does go down because of this rig. Or two? No. But we see a Marv has now been deployed by Akka, so this could be actually GG at the moment. Although he's got quite a few weapons, got quite a few mammoth tanks nearby, so he could actually maybe save himself a you know, or at least buy himself a little time. Yeah, the Marv is just stealing that Tiberium, and I can't believe these units are just passing it. I would have thought that he might have at least wanted to damage it a bit and then send the mammoth tanks after it. Ah, he's got railguns, no wonder. But see, we see all these tier 1 units, they just flooding the space here, and we're doing quite a lot of damage, targeting weak structures and important structures at the same time. As you can see, we've got the satellite airstrike building here going, we've got a Guardian Cannon being absolutely raped. I mean, power plant as well goes as well. There we go. We've got the Marv facility is now out, so he won't be able to. What's his face? There we go. Akka is not able to build another Marv once that goes down. So we will probably see quite a bit of hit taken by Akka because Weapon has got a lot of units here. And here we go. He's going to use all of his mammoth tanks to try and take out this Marv. I would personally try and put some missile squads in there as well, just because it's all anti-vehicular in the vehicle. But no matter, it doesn't matter. It just destroys it with ease. So there's the Marv gone. So that's probably GG at the moment. But we'll see. Quite a lot of units surrounding the Tiberium field. We've got the pit bulls still being used as well. We've got the also Akka's Predator tanks swarming around this little bit of Tiberium. A little bit of Tiberium. We'll see also the missile squads also coming in, wrecking these pit bulls, or at least what's left of them, and they all get destroyed. So, oh dear. But the mammoth tanks are now coming in, not even with a rail upgrade, they're just charging straight in there. I mean, even with the rig there, there's not do much. But we see with the mammoth tanks, they're just charging in there. They don't even need the rail upgrade, and they are. But yeah, I thought that the mammoth tanks were carrying some infantry, but I thought no, because that's wrong. It's these units here firing on them. But yeah, we've got quite a few mammoth tanks. There's a nice frontal assault over here. We'll see another conflict over here as Akka nicks the blue Tiberium. Firehawks get damaged a little bit. What is he going to go for? He's going to go for the harvester or something. And he does. Oh, there's the refinery. Right, so that's going to be a little bit more money, because he has to build the entire structure. One mammoth, quite a few mammoth tanks go down, as we can see here. The second one on screen goes down, and only one of two of the entire group have actually managed to survive. But as we can see now, Weapon is now going to make a dash for the last full, untouched, almost green Tiberium field. So this could actually mean that Weapon may have the incredible advantage. The sniper teams have now been deployed to deal with the missile squads, I think? Yeah, I think so, because there's quite a few of them still left. A few Predator tanks up here, idle, no idea what's going to use for them. A lot of missile squads and a few Grenadier squads. So we can see that Akka's now just focusing on infantry, and Weapon's focusing on vehicles and aircraft. Okay. Ooh dear. Damaging quite a few of the Firehawks, but not really killing any. So they'll be back again, trying to destroy whatever's left, which are these few power plants. Oh dear, he's losing ground fast, and he can't really do anything as well, because he's got this base to go for. It's this little bit of area, there's a little bit of land, but most of his units are actually defending this base, so he might have had a chokehold put on him, I don't know. But this harvester's just standing there. Oh, so that means he hasn't got any refineries. Oh dear, so that's going to be putting quite a bit of strain on Akka at the moment. As we can see, the launch has just gone up, and I was about to remark that he should do something about harvester, because it's sitting there and it's full load.
Structure sold.
But yeah, he did have no refineries, but he just managed to get one out. Not really building anything at the moment, but there we go. He sees the Firehawks yet again, but the missile squads won't be able to get there in time. Well, there's a few there, but not many. Oh, at least there's some slingshots, so at least you'll be able to counter it quite nicely. Let's see how many will go down. A second Marv facility goes down. Only one of them, Firehawks, gets destroyed. Even with the amount of anti-air that he has, he's quick, open out. And we see that Weapon is now making good progress at the moment. So he's got his own reclamator hub, and he's now making a Marv. So this could be a nice comeback for Weapon at the moment. So he might be able to just clear up this little area here, and we see the zone troopers now being deployed along this the west edge of the map and assaulting the harvesters. Oh, that's a big damage there. Full load harvester, and they're quickly making a dash to try and get away from the zone troopers, but they're not really doing very much. Oh, they're about to be able to destroy a second one. Oh, pixel health. That is amazing. Just saved it. But unfortunately, nope, there you go. Strike comes down and just ends his life miserably. But yeah, that was quite a bit of money down the drain there. That's a big hit taken from Akka. Will that render him unable to counter this Marv and all the zone troopers and mammoth tanks that Weapon has deployed? Who knows? Who knows indeed. As you can see, he's also focusing on anti-structure, and he's got a few snipers there just to make sure that no infantry come across his path. And the attack is now commencing, so we'll probably see Weapon winning this match overall, because Akka hasn't really got much left. I mean, he's crowding around this Tiberium field, quite desperate, although I would watch this because Conyard, just because it's at the back of the base and it's got no defences there. Yeah, so really would watch that. Most of the units are now moving in, at least a small batch of them, but they're making a difference. Engineer slowly catching up, trying to board a Marv, just to do some on-field repairs. And the Marv is now ploughing in along with the rest of the units. These 2 mammoth tanks and 3 snipers. So they're clearing out the forces quite a lot over here. He's now making a move to defend this cycle over this side of the base. We see that a Space Command upgrade launch, Shockwave artillery launch has been put in there, and unfortunately the Marv has now got EMP along with 2 mammoth tanks, and so the Marv will die right now. And then the second Shockwave gets launched towards these tanks over here, but a lot of money has now just been wasted because of that Marv dying. And 1 mammoth tank goes down. Will Weapon be able to save the other mammoth tank? I don't know. I don't really think so. It's taking a lot of damage. He's starting to pull it out, but there's too much damage all around, and it slows down. And there we go. There's that mammoth tank dead. So that force has ultimately failed. We can see that quite a few mammoth tanks are being grouped over here. I mean, wow, this is quite intense at the moment. I mean, this is what, 2 epic units have been used now, or maybe 3? 2, yeah, because it's 1 on each team. And we see more snipers are now being deployed over here, so they're both making sure they're being careful at the moment. I mean, yeah, most of the forces are over on this middle base. I don't know if it's too much of a risky move to go and flank the enemy and go to this space and destroy whatever's there, like the refinery, Space Command uplink, maybe the power plant, the command post, maybe the airfield if they're locking, because then the units will have to draw back and protect the base, or they could just go plow into the base. They may be able to do it now, as a second Marv has been deployed by weapons, so that we'll see if this Marv succeeds in destroying the enemy. But we can see now that these mammoth tanks now being deployed towards the middle of the map, so they're going to get rid of this rig, and they're trying to get rid of the enemy harvesters now just plowing on this blue tip field. And we see that Weapon is victorious in this little mini battle here, effectively getting rid of the rig, and then protecting the harvesters quite nicely. So we could definitely see that blue Tiberium field is now in the hands of Weapon. We see a conflict going down here. Oh, harvesters not really being micromanaged very well. We see that units, the mainly riflemen, are going to try and do some damage to it. But see, we've got the mammoth tanks coming down here as well. They're probably just going to go for the space. I see we've got a shroud revealer. I can't remember the actual power. Please forgive me. Being used by Weapon over there. We've got sufficient units, I think, to repel the mammoth tanks. He still hasn't really learned his lesson. The mammoth tanks just getting repelled like anything, and they are just Akka is just rapidly advancing forward, and we see that Akka's now deployed a Marv himself as well, so he may have a good chance at surviving this. We see that Orc strikes come down, unfortunately targeting this place way too late. We see those units sufficiently pushing the mammoth tanks back, destroying the harvesters and everything. One mammoth tank is almost dead, and the zone troopers are taking care of it quite nicely. And further do they retreat, back into their little hidey hole. Finally, this Zone Trooper has stopped firing. So this will give Weapon a little bit of relief as he pulls his Marv right round, hopefully to try and defend this little bit here. And wow, quite a few of his harvesters have gotten destroyed by that. I think he may be hoping to run all these units over, seeing as most of them are infantry, but then he's got this Marv to deal with. So I don't know. He may be doing that, he may be not, but it's going to be interesting nonetheless. I find it quite funny how both of them are now the same faction, so at least they'll be able to expect the same sort of things. And we see that Artillery has now been developed by Weapon, so he's going to probably try and take it out from afar. If he can't do it with brute force with mammoth tanks, he's going to bloody do it out from afar and be safe that way and use the mammoth tanks as cannon fodder, or at least something that can distract the units. Something like that. Anyway, I mean, he's also got the Marv out as well, so he will be using that in the front assault. But ultimately, it's whether these juggernauts will survive, because if they do, it'll be a very big problem for Akka. Because Akka, as far as I believe, has not got any air. He's just got ground forces, just vehicles and infantry. Oh, there's one Firehawk out. Right, so he has just created some air to help him in his battle. You see quite a few units piled up in this section over here, just camping at the moment. And you see the Marv now being retracted into the base, and the attack is now being commenced. One mammoth tank gets destroyed, the other one will probably be so as well. The Juggernauts providing nice supporting fire for the units over there, doing quite a bit of damage to the Marv. Unfortunately, damn, if those weren't there, he'd probably just be destroying that Marv right now. The weapons Marv has just been powered down, now it's just powered back up again. But those Juggernauts really are a table turner sometimes, and I think he may have used them correctly. Oh, they're going to go the EMP grenades from the Grenadiers over there. So the Marv again gets powered down. Weapons Marv is powered down for the second time. And we see the airfield is now destroyed. Ooh, damn. So his air superiority has now been eliminated. He's only managed to trade one Hammerhead permanently, because that Firehawk is going to crash because it hasn't got any ammo in it. Those Juggernauts, they're going to be a very problematic unit, so he's going to have to try and prioritise somehow. But because the Marv's in front, it's going to be really bad. Just firepower could bring down that Marv, because he's got 4 engineers there, and off he goes to proceed towards this outpost over here. You see some units collecting over this rocket bit over here, as they try and have a look at what the bloody hell's going on. We see also the back lanes have been deployed by the weapons rig, at least one of them. I don't know how many he's deployed, but other light units are being used, deployed out of this reclamator hub, and quite a few hammerheads are also being used, so we'll see quite a big battle over here, quite a mix of units. Nothing in those hammerheads, mind you, they're just empty. I would say try and use zone troopers or something, seeing as you can't get zone raiders. But over here, the battle is raging quite nicely. That one hammerhead just got wasted, but at least you'll be able to see exactly what's happening. That Marv rushing to the front to confront weapons Marv. Akka's units, mostly Akka's slingshots are really proving a little bit of a liability, and nothing much you can do, so he desperately tries to pull out from there, and boom, those hammerheads are wasted. They just get decimated by these slingshots. Look at that, absolute destruction. And the, oh god, weapons Marv is absolutely being decimated by all the firepower over here. So that unit has now been destroyed. Bit of a foolish move. He should have tried to at least attack the Marv, Akka's Marv over here, because now Akka can just take care of the rest of the units. Bye-bye Juggernauts, and probably Akka, I think, may make an attempt to capture them for his own use. It would make sense. Alright, Shockwave until it goes down. Is this weapons? Yes, it is. Powers down the Marv, does grab air damage, and now the Akka's Marv is lost. So we see all the infantry coming to defend whatever's left of the base. Quite a lot of firepower has been lost for both players over here. But none of you is going to use nice slingshot support made by Akka over here to try and destroy weapons. Hammerheads, most of the ground force is getting destroyed. Obviously he's got the help of the EMP grenades as well. So pretty much all the tanks have got the EMP We've seen a mammoth tank, a predator tank goes down, and we see a heroic unit as well. We see a heroic missile squad. So that's a very good back and back going over there. And the battle base unfortunately has to be lost. But the predator tanks and a few APCs now pile up on this location, just in the very small hope that they can somehow hold this area. So we might be seeing a huge conflict over here, but ultimately I don't think so. Then again, maybe not. Most of the units have not been used. Sorry about it. Throat a little bit dry. Right. Okay, so a battery go up just in an attempt to ward off the hammerheads, but it says non-com. That's a bit of a wasteful move. So he's going to have to sell that reclamate to home. Oh! The mob just comes out in time. Damn, that is lucky. That is lucky as anything. A couple of heroic predator tanks go down because of it. That is lucky. Almost lost that, and such a close play as well. So he'll now have another Marv to counter all these units with, and now he weapon just destroys the Juggernaut husks to prevent them from being captured. I'm surprised that weapon hasn't made an effort to make another Marv, because I believe he has another wealth factory somewhere, or not actually, he's just sold it, so that is his only war factory. It could make more, but then again that's more money being used at a short time, so maybe a comeback may be made by Akka over here, seeing as it's got a very powerful unit and weapon doesn't really have much to counter it with, and we see that the path taken by the Marv is going to probably go all the way over here and go for the structures, which will really make it really hard for weapon to get any more air deployed onto the battlefield, and he could be lucky and take out tier 3, so he may be able to make that again. But he just steals the blue Tiberium, which would help him a lot. Let's have a look at his resources. He's got a decent amount of resources. Obviously, he's got a battery there.
Enemy units sighted.
He's defending the base wonderfully, and I see enemy hammerheads go and try and lure the units out. I was thinking it's safe. Nope, the slingshots come in, and oh look, hit it out. But then again, boom, the ground units come in. We've got some APCs and some Monopod tanks. And although that one slingshot made a desperate attempt to try and destroy the hammerheads, it was ineffective. Some Juggernauts may also be more accurate now, so he may be getting that superior firepower and range advantage. And the Mars is just circling around, going straight for these few units here. We also hear a Marv has now been built. Yep. So weapon has managed to get another Marv out. Oh god. How many Marvs have been made now? I don't know. Probably 6 or 7. But we see that now the units are now retreating. No move has been made to try and destroy this area. Weapon has had to well, not destroy but sell one of his airfields just to get a little bit more money. The middle outpost is proving to hold quite well. The Marv, weapons Marv now making a beeline towards this little outpost over here. And Akka's Marv just nicely just playing a bit of cat and mouse with these units, managing to destroy a couple of them, so that's not too bad. A field goes down, Shroud Revealer goes down, and we see the enemy Marv, we see the weapons Marv going straight towards this base, destroying whatever remains of the anti-air, because obviously we've got 3 slingshots and an anti-air battery being used over here. Most of the ground forces are over here. We do see a couple of grenadiers going forth and trying to EMP that Marv for as long as possible. There go the EMP grenades for the first group, powers down that Marv, and the Juggernauts are damaging it quite nicely over there. I'm not sure how long that Marv will be able to last. It's not taking much damage. We see some friendly zone troopers as well. They are providing support for the Marv. Unfortunately, that AA battery has to go down. Oh, and one Ox transport almost gets destroyed. but the amount of grenadier squads is piling up at the moment. Quite a lot of damage is taken by the Marv now. Weapons Marv is almost destroyed, almost looking to be destroyed. I'm surprised. Oh, if only he knew they were there, if only he knew there were snipers there, he could have just dealt with them quite nicely. But I think Weapons Marv is gone. He's gone. There's no way he's going to be able to recover that. Although he does take out a grenadier squad. Well, no he doesn't. Wow, there's so much back and forth gameplay, it's quite unreal. No one has actually made a decisive move to try and take each other out. But we see one slingshot taking on 4 hammerheads, but they are now retreating towards a different part. Slingshot just trying to keep everything in line, try and take them all out. We see about 3 hammerheads fleeing from that one slingshot, and most of the juggernauts that Weapon has lost has now been reclaimed, just because they were so conveniently close to his base, so that means they could just get him. So Weapon is now training something else, and then Juggernaut, no, he's training a Pitbull as a scout unit, just to get a hint of what the hell is going on with Akka. Akka's slingshot remarkably gets saved and is still alive, and he's almost at a heroic level, so if he can keep that alive for a little bit longer, that will help him with anti-air forces. That would be really useful for Akka's cause. Not really much that Weapon can do. I mean, he has some hammerheads at this moment. The only real Tiberium field he has is this one, because this one lays unclaimed, just because Akka could easily make a beeline towards that blue Tiberium field and possibly take it. The other Reclamator Hub goes up training on the Marv. Pitbulls nicely patrolling the area and making sure everything's dandy-doody. I wonder if he'll actually just try and make an effort to destroy the Juggernaut, which is just there. He hasn't made any attempt to make any more. He's just concentrated his money on that one Marv that is going to come out. As we can see, he has quite a bit. Quite a few harvesters over here, and one of them is sitting idle. We can also see that an engineer is being sent to the AA battery to heal it, I think. Maybe. And he's now unpacking his MCV, so where is he going to go? Is he going to draw into the base a bit? Or is he going to take one of the other? Yeah, he's going to draw it into the base just a little bit. Marv goes out. One harvester gets destroyed. That harvester has a full load. But unfortunately, we have the AA battery as well, which walks them off. But they're right into the corner now, so they will have a safe spot. It might just harass that Conyard a little bit over there. We've got some on weapons infantry just making a quick entrance to see what's going on. They get decimated. A lot more firepower is being created over in this area. Pretty much the same as before, except no Manoff tanks. Not sure what he's planning. Is he just going to keep pounding the base repeatedly until he gives, or what? Because I don't think that's going to work, just because he has a lot of grenadiers. If he had more snipers, maybe he'd be able to get rid of all of them. But we see that Akka's and Marv is now proceeding towards this blue team field, just to get him a little bit more Tiberium. I don't know if he's willing to risk going all the way to the right side of the map and proceeding to destroy these structures over here, because pretty much this entire base is quite undefended, and the main force is over here, and that's really not really true, because the main force is over here. They're being sent to Akka's base, but because they've got so many grenadiers, they could deal with that very nicely. Snipers just picking off the infantry over here. Nice inward invasion force being made by Weapon over there. We see that Akka's Marv is just gathering up Tib. Quite a lot of damage gets dealt. Well, one harvester lost for Weapon then. And we see that over here, Juggernauts decimate this slingshot, unfortunately. Oh no, they're turning away towards the Marv. Weapons Marv has now powered down, so damage will be being dealt to it. Weapons snipers are just making nice kills over here. They're just absolutely destroying these grenadiers, but Akka is nicely pumping out as many grenadiers or squads as he can. See, this is a really long battle. Oh my god. And just to see the one Juggernaut there, we've only still got one Juggernaut. No more, no less. That mob is guarding those two at the moment, so we may see that, we may see Akka capturing both those husks. And again, a reform of all units, making sure that they're still protecting the base. I still think he should try and make an effort to destroy this bit, because he would also lose his Conyard if Akka, made a sufficient force. If he wanted, I think the best thing to do to defend his base would be to train a lot of grenadier squads and missile squads, and maybe a few riflemen, just in case he tries to tackle infantry, which is like not snipers or anything. Oh, the units. He's not really producing any units. Weapon is not producing. Oh, he's producing a Marv at the moment. So we'll see that coming up any second now. And they're both clinging on to whatever they've got left. I mean, there comes the weapons Marv. Akka's not made any move to try and get this tip field, which would be useful. It would help him for a little bit. It would have that immediate boost, which could potentially make more units and hopefully give him a little bit more of an advantage over Weapon, because Weapon has only got one Marv and a battle base. That's it. I mean, if he like had some pit bulls, he could have easily made that attacking force much stronger, because these harvesters are undefended pretty much. But he doesn't know that. He's just going to go there and get the Tiberium while continually defending this base. So both players are just becoming quite idle at the moment. Well, not quite idle, but they're slow, because there's not much Tiberium to go around. My god, this is actually turning into quite a long battle over here. A couple of hammerheads proceeding towards the Akasut base. I don't know if they know the Marv is there. It looks like they do. But this is get fried. At least one of them does. So yeah, we've got quite a few units again piling up on this area over here, and then we have an armory being built, so he could be training some more snipers of his own to counter weapon snipers. More Juggernauts get deployed by Weapon again, go for the artillery. Akka's not really going for artillery. He's got two Juggernauts. He's captured one of them, I think. But one of the weapons husks has now expired, so oh well. He's got two Juggernauts though, which would help a lot. He might be using a bombardment or something, because I just saw the Juggernaut selected. He may be. Quite a lot of units are being pushed around this corner. What is he planning? I mean, is he wanting to take out these Juggernauts and then go for the Marv straight away? We could see that, possibly. New units are really being traded out the barracks, so we don't really know if he's going to at all make some room for more missile squads, although that was just selected, so maybe he's making more artillery. We don't know yet. Oh damn, if only you knew. You could take him right now. I'm not joking, because this is all anti-vehicular, not anti-infantry, which would actually make his day, because he could just spam him with missile squads, let his Marv distract that Marv, and once the space has been eliminated, he can just focus on the undefended parts. But we see a second war factory going up as well, training some other Predator tanks, so maybe not actually. And also some hammerheads go up, so I think he maybe missed his chance, but still, he's also risking losing any of his units, which is ultimately quite risky. And I did forget, this battle base actually locates stealth, which I did completely forget. No wonder he isn't using it, or he isn't like just going straight in and having a look. But he ultimately finds the Marv just there, EMPs the enemy Marv, and is working on destroying it. Most the other units just swarm the infantry that's there. I think Akka has to pull back, because there's no way he's going to keep this position. Slingshots going, trying to chase this group of hammerheads. I did a bit of damage to them. One of them almost goes down, but slingshots have been destroyed. Quite a big force has now been made over here. This could be the end of Akka, because all he has is a group of grenadiers, 2 juggernauts, 1 rifleman and 1 Marv. I don't know how he's able to, or I was going to be able to defend himself. But seeing as the Marv is going around the long way, Weapon is now making a beeline towards Akka's base over here. We can see that one measly little grenadier squad is gonna try and at least catch the Marv. Because the thing is, that's the most important unit. It's just going to be taking all the damage, taking all that sponge. But no, they just get obliterated yet again. So this could be goodbye for Akka? I don't know. Oh no, the match we empty in the map yet again. And here come all the units. Just swarming Akka at the moment. More EMPs get launched at Weapons Marv, and a few of the APCs go down as well. But there are too many light units pummeling those juggernauts. He can't really do anything at the moment. Boom, one goes down. Slingshot comes out, trying to hopefully catch some hammerheads out, but he's not really lucky in that respect. Oh, and one juggernaut comes back that way. Interesting. But most of the structures now go down because of the rush of light units. Battle base is deployed by Weapon. Guardian cannons nicely are making a lot of use out of that position and destroying the harvester. And most of these units now destroying one juggernaut, and there's another battle base, but I don't know why he's targeting that. He should be going left and targeting his Marv, because it's over half destroyed. Yeah, I think Akka's Marv is dead now. He's going to try and use the juggernauts to hopefully get him. Well, no, he's going to destroy the structures, so that's going to weaken him a lot. Oh, we see quite a conflict going off here. So unfortunately, Akka's Marv is now destroyed, and Akka has finally been defeated, rendering Weapon victorious on Tournament Rift. Wow, that was a long game. I mean, honestly, that was really, really long. My voice is quite dry at the moment because I've been talking so much. But they went through quite a few Marvs. Honestly, it's a shame that you can't actually see how many. You're gonna have to count up exactly how many there is. But that was a really long battle. Both the players did amazingly well, and they both tried their very best. But really, there were no flaws. Neither of them built a crane. I can't really think of anything to add to that. I'm just going to put across my absolute astonishment and clap. I just clap for both players, because that's deserved. They both played so very well. I could easily assume, I think, they were both equal skill level. So that's why they lasted so long. But Akka, oh dear, you lost most of your units. You were just hanging by a thread for so long. And then Weapon just came and finished you off. But I did hope you enjoyed that. Really did hope you enjoyed this casting of King's Wrath 1v1 on Tournament Rift. I do hope you enjoyed that. If you have any replays to suggest to me, then put a link to game replays. That's where I get all my replays from. I don't think there's any other place you can get the replays from. But on that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.